Hey kings and queens, welcome to another episode of Elevate with E. It's E here, Warner Hughes, CEO of Great Gale LLC, dedicated to rewriting the narrative. And this is a podcast aimed at helping you elevate over the limits life throws at you. So on to today's topic, we win. Yes, I'm so excited. So again, what is win? Winning means to get possession of by effort or fortune, to obtain by work, to gain in or as if in battle or contest, to be the victor in. And we, a bit obvious, but again, it means I and the rest of the group that includes me. So again, with winning, it's literally about obtaining something by going through something. It's not something that just drops in your lap. It's something that you have to work, you have to aspire towards. And then we is us collectively. It's amazing. So again, we win. Honestly, I'm just so excited, so honored, so blessed to actually discuss this because as of today, our Kickstarter was successful. That's what I'm talking about, boy. We did it, kings and queens. We did it. So thank you for your shares, for your donations, financially, for you investing your time, for you being a part of this journey. Just like the paintings behind me with the kings and queens, if you're watching this, you see it. This is what it's all about, empowering you, encouraging you, and inspiring you with this greatness. And I can't wait to see how this series levels up and evolves, so on and so forth. Honestly, what makes this so important and why we win is so incredible is the fact that this is a Kickstarter that was successful. So many people have these horror stories about they've done the Kickstarter and it didn't work out, or they did the Kickstarter and didn't get funding, or something happened along the way. This is our first Kickstarter, our first crowdfunding venture for Bold Saga. I am so humbled and honored. Not just the fact that we hit our goal in 94 minutes, but at the fact that at the end of the campaign, we hit 531% funding. We reached over $2,666. That is amazing. That means that we hit 1, 2, maybe 3, 4 stretch goals. That is phenomenal. And yeah, it's 4 stretch goals. At $1,000, we're able to give back to the Boys and Girls Club because they invested in us. We want to be able to give back to them. At $1,700, we're able to have the funding for Chapter 5 and Chapter 6. At $2,000, we can get the color editions of Bold Saga. And at $2,500, we're able to have the funding for the color edition of Bold Saga Chapter 2. So you're able to get the color edition of Chapter 1 and the color edition of Chapter 2. So excited, guys. Honestly, this is a massive victory. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're watching this, you see what I'm talking about. Not just ideas. We actually have the physical Chapter 1, the physical Chapter 2. So this is literally a series. This is a legacy of greatness, of empowering our young kings and queens. So now they can see heroes that look like them, a story that empowers them. This is a massive victory. Even someone that read the series said it gives them hope. So honestly, I'm just grateful for this opportunity. And why is it important to mention that we win? Because no great victory is wrought or achieved without some type of sacrifice. Like in Transformers, one of my favorite movies, Sam Witwicky's father is like, no sacrifice, no victory. That victory comes with a sacrifice, you know? It was so much to get here. We've talked about it, on other occasions. But again, 4 years of failures after trying to work on a video game and it didn't work out. 2 years to get Chapter 1 done. A major loss in the beginning, made me feel like I didn't even want to get the story started. Setbacks, delays, failures, COVID, grandfather passing away, every format of stress. And the fact I also do graphic design, so I had to do client work as well. So balancing act of doing all of that, I do merch fulfillment with these merch and everything else. So all of those factors played in and they played a role. But at the end of the day, sometimes it literally felt like it was impossible. Like, why am I even doing this? Is anyone going to even want to see an Afrofuturism manga, a black manga? Will it even sell? Because I could have gone the easy route. Just like when Masashi Kishimoto said that when he first made Naruto, he wanted to appeal to a Western audience, which is why Naruto has blonde hair, blue eyes. It's on purpose because he's trying to get the sale. That is his choice. That is his prerogative. But at this point, with Bold Saga, we literally rewrote the narrative. This is literally something that's a game changer, because Afrofuturism manga, this ain't something you see often. On the cover of a series, a black main character in a manga, and what is that, an angel behind of him? And wait, on the back cover you can see it as well. If you're watching this, an actual Adinkra Fawohodi, which is literally on some of the classic merchandise you can get from the campaign, Emancipation. This is incredible, Kings and Queens. This is incredible, because what we're doing is that we're rewriting the narrative, showing the majesty of African culture, showing how dope it is, showing how amazing it is to celebrate cultures. And that's why it's so incredible, because after all of the L's, after all of the failures, just to get that one W of chapter 1, everything just went up from that point onwards. Now, it's 1 year later. Bold Saga, another victory that we've won, is that Bold Saga is officially 1 year old as of July 10th, in print. I mean, in digital format, and then my end came a month later. But this is just amazing, because it's like every type of L imaginable happened along the way. It took me 24 revisions for chapter 1. This book took nearly forever. I thought it was going to break me, but I refused to let it break me. I refused to let limits get the last laugh, because there was so much. It was the first physical book I had made to print on demand. Like, oh my gosh. So we're going to be talking about that later on and why this is significant. But again, we win is so important, because if we're going to win, it happens not in a vacuum. We win when we work together. That's why on the campaign, many times it says, even when you go to the campaign on the Kickstarter page, you see, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that's an African proverb. And we wanted to put that on the center stage, right on the cover of the campaign, so you can see it. That's literally what we're about. We've gone fast. I've done this with my wife. It's basically been me and her. Getting feedback here and there from other people, but basically me and her. I made the story, created it, drew it, self-published it, and she gave input, advice, and feedback. Because at the end of the day, even what is his name? Shigeru Miyamoto was a waifu meter. I remember reading that in one of my favorite books, Level Up. And the point is, he said that he runs an idea by his wife, and since she's not deeply invested into it, she can give an honest opinion. So sometimes you need, your own advice. You need to listen to yourself, but you need to go outside of your frame of mind, and hear other people's opinions. So this is so significant. This is a manga that is owned by a black company. It's an independent manga. This is incredible. And it's so important, because we win. And this is coming at the perfect time. Because right now, in the midst of everything going on in the world, stress, anxiety, worry, all of that is at an all-time high. And on top of all of that, there's so much fear. So what this book does, I remember speaking to someone, they said it, Bold Saga gave them hope. And I appreciate that. And that's so true. Because hope is so fleeting, that feeling that, everything is going to collapse on top of you, and hope is that little light in the darkness. That is what this book affords when you read it, when you see it. It's just an inspiring book. B- Studio said it. Bold Saga is a manga self-help book, and that's what we need for our young kings and queens. Stories that empower them, encourage them, inspire them with heroes that look like them authentically. We win because we want our young kings and queens to see heroes that look like them. I've seen cases where, a young king and his mom, the queen was basically talking about the fact that her son loves Dragon Ball Z. She styled his hair with the afro, with the gel and everything, so he can look cool and look like Goku and everything, and that's great. But wouldn't it be awesome if her son also got his hands on Bold Saga and actually saw a hero that looked like him with the hair naturally? And in Bold Saga, what I love is that your hair is on top of your head. That's your crown. So we celebrate that natural, authentic crown. People in the story have Bantu knots. They have locks. They have fades. They've got so many different hairstyles, afros. Oh my gosh. Can go on for days. So literally what you see, even when they have characters wearing dooku's and head wraps, it's literally authentic representation. That's what it's about, because our young kings and queens need to see it. So we went on that level. We went on the fact that Bold Saga's trailer, the official trailer I made last year, has officially reached 1K views on YouTube. Without ads, just sharing it with the community, just sharing it with kings and queens that need to see this type of representation. I am so excited that happened. Like, this is just another victory, and I'm so grateful, because we win. This was not something I did on my own. This was not in a vacuum. We've been on multiple panels. We've been at multiple events. We're on the BSP app. All of these are wins that we've gotten because you believed in us. You invested in us. You watched our videos. You shared our videos. So as much as this is a victory for me, this is a victory for you too, because you're part of this creative community. You are part of a movement that's changing the narrative so you can see authentic Black representation. Why is it so important that we win? Because in this media and manga, you can even see it. There have been many times that people say, Hinata isn't Black, anime is a perfect world, so why are there Black people in it? Terraform Mars by sending roaches to it, and then the roaches come out looking like Black people with the hair overly brute, muscular, with guns sideways, the minstrelsy. You can go on for days about all the negative connotations: lying, pirates, fearful, rapping ninjas. We can go on for days. So at the end of the day, instead of getting annoyed about someone's perspective and opinion, create your own. Don't go in the way that's already go. Don't go on the path that's already taken. Tread the one that's not taken. Go the path that's not taken. Forge your own path. And that's what we did with Bold Saga. So again, that's why we win. Because it's not easy. It's worth it. That's why that's why Les Brown said it. If you do what is easy in life, your life will be hard. If you do what is hard in life, your life will be easy. And Bold Saga was hard as hell. Oh my gosh, so much hell, so much challenges, but the heaven at the end of it, boy, the blessings at the end of it, boy. It's just magnificent because you don't see anything like this often. Afrofuturism and manga hardly ever coincide or coalesce. You will see a Black character here and there, and there'll be either side characters or something else or some type of mockery. So it's crazy. And again, why this is so important is that now is the perfect time to let you know why we win is so important, why it's so important that we win. In this day and age, I'm going to tell you a trend, and I'm going to continue it on other YouTube videos and other videos as well so you can see it. There is a trend where there's a decline in comics and a rise in manga. And having an Afrofuturism manga come out at this time, at this precise time, as the paradigms are shifting, is phenomenal. So as the paradigm is shifting, as these views are changing, as manga is rising in popularity and mainstream comics are going down, we can get into why that's happening on another video. The reality is that at this pivotal moment, at this crucial time, our young kings and queens need this type of representation, because now it's going to go even higher and higher and higher with showcasing of manga and anime, because this genre is important. This medium is important. It's very, very important for the cultural benefits, for the aspects of the stories, the values that you get in it, for the growth that the characters take so that you can resonate with them. That's why even Jordan Peele said his story is the greatest catalyst for change. And in order to get that true change in your mind, transformative renewing of your mind, you need to see heroes that look like you. You need to see stories that impact you, inspire you, and culturally represent you. And that's what we're doing in Bold Saga. That's why it's so significant in this crucial time. And on top of that, why we win is important, and why I chose it is because if you saw Space Jam: A New Legacy, I won't say what happened, but I will say they had the song We Win by Lil Baby featuring Kirk Franklin. That song is fire. That song is so fire. I love it. And the way how the song begins, it talks about steadfast, unmovable, abounding in the, and then it cuts out. The full verse is basically saying, therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So basically, that verse is talking about winning. It talks about winning in the grander scheme of things, knowing that you putting in this work for the creator is going to pay off in the future, in the long run. Remember when I said before about Les Brown, do it is easy, life is hard, do it is hard, life is easy, it's not over until I win. All these type of mentalities. I love that quote. But honestly, it's so important, because you have to get to that point where you realize there's a purpose to it all. But it's not going to be easy. So you have to be steadfast. You have to keep focusing on the goal day and night. This is how you win. So if you're working towards a goal, if you're working towards a dream, if you want to be the first person in your family to graduate high school, to get a degree, to actually start a business, to be a mom, whatever, to be a dad, to be whatever it is that your goal is that you're working towards, to be, a CEO, to being a lawyer, a doctor, a graphic designer, even starting a YouTube channel. growing with video. So many things are out there for you to do. But at the end of the day, what's most important is that you need to be steadfast. You need to be unmovable. That's how we got Bold Saga done. I can finally explain it. If I haven't explained it already, you've got to be unmovable. You've got to be unmovable. You cannot let things shake you. You cannot let people shake you. You cannot let stress and anxiety shake you. I worked on Bold Saga so much I had to even change my thoughts to the point work was play, to the point I'm drawing. I worked and saw creating the manga was basically like me playing my favorite video game, Super Mario, Jack and Daxter, in not Final Fantasy. Yes, Final Fantasy as well, but King of Fighters, that's it. All my favorite games, I reimagined it and saw myself. Again, imagination is key to opening the doors of greatness. The point is this: you have to be unmovable. You have to be steadfast. You have to be unmovable. You can't let things shake you. You have to stay focused on the goal. And you always have to be abounding in the work of the Lord. You always have to be working towards your goal, towards your dream. It's not an easy thing, it's a consistent thing. Always be abounding in the work for the Creator, because that's how you get the purpose out of life. That's how you get to elevate. When you're literally living your life purpose, life becomes so much better. So much times we're taught or told or, even admonished that you have to fit into a schedule of just getting a 9-to-5, just getting a job and just following this stable path. And then after 30 years, you can basically maybe retire. But the times are changing and the paradigms are changing. And I can honestly tell you this: if you want to win, you cannot just go by the rules that have been set in the past, because everything is changing. Look at last year. Last year literally rewrote the narrative, because many times we were thinking you can just go to work, do that, 30 years and everything. But then last year showed that COVID happened, anything can happen, literally. And then you have to be away from people, can't work that close. Robots are coming in, which are basically replacing jobs, from like the driverless delivery for Pizza Hut to they have serving robots for different restaurants. So many things are becoming automated right now. So what you have to do is you cannot just look at things as what they are. Look at how they're developing and what they can be, and find something that can give you that staying power, something that can do more for you than you just working. Because at the end of the day, job is replaceable. Your gift is not. Your gift is what the Creator gave you. And when you have your gift, it will not just keep you in a box. Your gift will make you stand before great people. It won't make you stand before weak men. It won't make you stand before evil and just messed up people and just stay in a box. Your gift takes you to levels that are unparalleled. Just this last weekend on Sunday, I spoke to one of the, in my opinion, the greatest indie legends of our time in the Black comic space, in the Black creative space. Black Sands Entertainment, the CEO Manuel Godoy. We were talking about Bold Saga. It was phenomenal. After taking his 90-day book challenge, now being able to talk to the king, oh my gosh, it's a king speaking to king. It was phenomenal. Why? Because this is coming from a kid that's from Antigua, man. This is phenomenal, because I remember when I was younger. I remember when I was 11, when I went to the Caribbean. I remember when I was in a house where it felt like everything was from the 70s. Everything was from the past. No access to modern technology. This is coming from someone who lived in New York. I was always around like the latest tech, always around the latest TV shows. God just reset it, put me in the Caribbean. And here's how I can tell this is incredible and why we win is so important. This is coming from someone who had to activate his imagination. When I went there, I kid you not, honest to God, no cap, I stepped in the house. I was told there was 1,000+ channels. Stepped in the house, and what happened? Earthquake hits the house. The second I'm walking into the house, this cannot be anything but the Creator. Walk into the house, earthquake hits the house, shifts the satellite off its axis, can never be repaired. We go from, I think, 1,000+ channels to feeds. If you know what a feed is when you're watching TV, I'll explain it another time. Not enough time today, but it was hell. Creatively, I was just... So that's why I turned to books. I used to read encyclopedias for fun. I used to read dictionaries for fun, which is why I love verbosity and vernacular and utilizing words efficiently, expeditiously. It's so important to be well spoken. It's so important. So that's why I love words. And from there, I love books, because books are something that can transcend everything, man. I mean, like, stories They outlive us, and that's what we're basically doing with Bold Saga. So again, if you want to win in this life, if you want to win truly and honestly, get in touch with the Creator. Be steadfast, be unmovable, always be working for for the purpose that He gave you, because that's what's going to give you that meaning in life. Anything else and everything else can pass away. My hard drive just crashed recently. It just goes to show how fickle and how transient everything is. So keep working towards your purpose. That's what helps you win in life. You have to be rooted in order to bloom. Again, you have to be rooted in order to bloom. So take the seed of those ideas that He's given you, plant them. It's going to be people throwing dirt on your name. There's going to be people that hate on you, that give you negativity, all types of hell, all types of pressure, all types of anxiety. But all of that is just the earth on top of your seed. What happens over time is that it grows, and then over time, it produces. And that's how we win. Again, it's so important, because at the end of the day, it's all about productivity, man. You gotta be able to make something with the time that you've been given. 86,400 seconds in a day is how much we've been allotted every day, and you can't waste any of it, man. You have to invest it. You have to rewrite the narrative in your mind, because to win, you have to be steadfast. You have to be unmovable. Again, you have to do what the Creator's called you to do. That's how I won, and that's how we win. So I'm so excited, because not only do we have one power quote for today, we have two. It's power quote plus. So excited. So here's the power quote. First one: it always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. And winning is fun, sure, but winning is not. Wanting to win is the point. Not giving up is the point. Never letting up is the point. Never being satisfied with what you've done is the point. Pat Summitt. So I'll reiterate them. Again, it always seems impossible until it's done. Nelson Mandela. Winning is fun, sure, but winning is not the point. Wanting to win is the point. Not giving up is the point. Never letting up is the point. Never being satisfied with what you've done is the point. Pat Summitt. So those are the two power quotes of the day. Double up. So excited. And here are the upcoming events. Bold Saga, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. I'm not just saying it. They're literally available. You can see them right there. They're literally available right now. This is a story about empowering our young kings and queens for the culture, and showing them that you don't just have to look like every other character that's out there. You have intrinsic greatness within you. Celebrate that. Celebrate the culture. Celebrate the legacy of greatness that comes from everything that's happened before. You're just basically continuing that legacy of greatness. Kings and queens, man. That's the legacy that's in, the past, and that's the legacy that still flows through us today. Remember that royalty, that is the legacy, that is the heritage. So again, so important. Chapter 1, Chapter 2 are out right now. You can get them. They're available on Amazon, the physical paperback, as well as the ebook high quality. You can get that at payhip.com/Great Gale, GREATGALE, and both G's are uppercase. That is phenomenal. So check that out today. In addition, the shift is here. New videos and courses teaching you, how do you make a manga? We're going to have how to make a manga courses, how to write the manga, how to draw the manga, how to market it, how to make a logo, just like the logo that's on the cover, graphic design, entrepreneurship, even marketing, and much more. So if you want to be updated, if you want to stay up to date with all of that, join our mailing list and hit the link in the bio on our Instagram at GreatGaleCo, and you'll be able to click join our mailing list, and I will see you there. Cannot wait. It's going to be phenomenal. We're going to have videos, and we're going to have a Patreon. So that's going to be amazing. So you'll be able to get exclusive access to so much more. I can't wait to share it all with you. So join the mailing list so you can know what's happening first. In addition, more amazing events are on the horizon. Stay tuned and stay up to date with all things Bold Saga and Great Gale when you follow us at Great Gale Co, GREATGALECO, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Clubhouse, and Fanbase. And thank you for listening. Remember, we win. This is your time. This is your season. It's time to elevate.